Are you always overspending? Think that you have more money than you do when the bills come due? Well, you may be experiencing money dysmorphia. If this is a new word for you, well, you are not alone. But we do have an expert here in studio this afternoon to help us understand what it really means. Financial advisor Dini Harris joins us. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hear this term on social media. Is this a real term? And if so, what is it?
Right. Yes, absolutely. So money dysmorphia, it's a more recent term. And if you were to look it up, say in a medical journal or a recent article, it might say something that it's this mental health condition. And I think that's really on the extreme side. It truly just describes a more common thing that we're seeing, especially in younger people, but in all ages and all financial situations and incomes. But it just describes a skewed or distorted view of one's own personal finances. You may be, like you said, they're on solid footing, but never having a good feeling that your financial health is intact. And it's just a lot more prevalent. I think there's a lot of evidence that with that younger generation, that they grew up in the financial crisis of '08. So they had these things imprint on them that give them feelings of financial instability or insecurity. And rightly so. I mean, that was a terrible time in the country.
I mean, if people right now watching, like, I don't think I have that. I mean, what are those common signs?
Well, generally, you could say feelings of anxiety or just financial stress, but more so we see impulse buying, overspending, and on the other extreme is also a part of that is oversaving. So those that have that insecurity might be inclined to hoard money and maybe not use it to invest wisely, get interest, or find passive income so that they can better their financial situation.
Would you say that social media really plays a huge part? Because we're seeing these maybe influencers or people just buying stuff are really showing luxury. And if so, I mean, what are some of those tips that you can do in order to bypass that?
Oh, absolutely. It's so true. Make no mistake, social media is a big business. It's run for profit. It's meant to drive revenue, and that revenue comes from advertisers. And their AI is incredibly good. I mean, we have a time in our lives where products and services are so easily and readily available to us, and that AI is reading you. It knows your likes, your dislikes. It knows the things that you buy or what you might tend to look at more often than not, and it's going to show you those things in between everything else. So we make emotional decisions in those kinds of situations where we're moving from maybe a point of fear or something towards joy. It's really emotional based and it's not logical. We're not asking ourselves, does this choice match my goals? That's one of my mantras. When you see those things, 'cause it's very easy to get sucked into that.
Yeah, it really is. Well, thank you so much. Such an interesting concept, but really we should be thinking about this, mindful buying when we're out in the wild, really. But thank you again for joining us today.